Greetings, demons, and welcome to a Fortnite toy video. Okay, so for those who aren't already aware, and a refresher for those who have heard about it but don't really know the details, Hasbro recently extended their deal with Epic and Fortnite more specifically in order to start a brand new toy range called Victory Royale. And first off, it's kind of a meh name, but at the same time, a lot of the other companies that have been making them, especially Jazzwares, the names for their actual brands and stuff around Fortnite have just generally been a bit meh overall. I think it's pretty difficult to actually get a name that fits Fortnite, in all fairness, because we have so many other terms for the video game stuff. It's difficult to compare that to, the whole idea of an actual toy line. But recently, we actually got a brand new exclusive, so already that's two from Hasbro. The first one was actually the G.I. Joe Snake Eyes, 0 Point edition figure, which was basically just a repackaged version of the G.I. Joe Cobra Island figure, which, overall, pretty cool. I didn't manage to get it because it was before Hasbro Pulse moved to the UK in terms of being able to deliver. But this figure, which is the Foundation Zero Crisis Edition, is actually available in the UK now, so I'm actually going to talk about them. And first off, may I just say, $39.99 for a 6-inch action figure, which, if it's to scale, I would assume the Foundation is probably going to be closer to 7-inch in actual size, but it's 6-inch scale. The Foundation is a little bit taller than the average skin. But, yeah, still, $39.99, 40 Great British Pounds, that's about $45 to $50, and I don't think that's worth it. Both Marvel Legends and Star Wars The Black Series are in the same scale, and arguably are more detailed because they're not based off cartoons, and yet often are £25, which I still think is kind of a rip-off, honestly. I usually get them on discount when I get them, but how is it that essentially just a slightly larger figure with less detail because it's based on a cartoony game, with nothing but an umbrella as an accessory, which I'll get into the actual overall figure description in a second, but how is that worth £40? Anyway, digressing enough on the price, I actually think this looks really cool. The articulation seems to be very comparable to things like the Black Series, and also very comparable to things like Jazzwares. It also seems to be slightly better hidden than things like McFarlane, which is my personal favourite to collect for the Fortnite figures. And, overall, though obviously Fortnite's cartoony, there's not high detail for any of the skins really, it does look detailed enough. It looks like the in-game model, and I think that's the main thing. That's been my issue with Jazzwares, is that they look like the character, but they don't look like the in-game model. Take the Kit figure, which recently released. You look at that figure, and then you look at the model from in-game, you can clearly see there's some disparagement between them. And, honestly, if Hasbro is just going to provide us with really hyper-accurate figures that, maybe don't have that many accessories, but they're just extremely model accurate, I'm fine with that. But generally, I think that this is a very good start to what is probably going to be a pretty good overall series. As I say, I'm already a fan of a lot of Hasbro's work, and, overall, I don't think it's going to hurt that some of these figures, because I assume it'll only be these edition figures, like the Zero Crisis and the 0 Point from the G.I. Joe crossover. I assume that they're going to be the figures that actually have these higher prices. I would hope that the standard releases, the ones that you'll find at your local toy stores or on Amazon, I should hope that those sorts of figures will end up just going to, around £25-30, which still potentially a bit high, but it's a lot more likely you're going to be able to find them at below 20 at that point, which I think is perfectly reasonable. I do hope that we do see more weapons, because, as I say, currently, with this product picture, the only thing being shown is the Foundation himself, his back bling, which I'm assuming is removable just because typically back blings are on these sorts of figures, but I don't know for certain. It very much depends. And then there's also the foundational umbrella, which is Season 6's umbrella. I honestly hope that we at least get, like, a weapon with each figure, because having just an umbrella without any sort of display stand, like some of the other themes have added, it just seems a bit pointless to me. And finally, one last contentious little thing about this release. Just like the G.I. Joe collaboration with Snake Eyes, these aren't releasing until next year. They come out in April, which is literally a year from now. And I can't push this enough. That is a long time to wait for a figure that is relevant right now. A lot of people, including myself, said at the time of G.I. Joe's crossover that by the time it comes out next year, it will not be relevant anymore. And honestly, I'm thinking the exact same thing when it comes to this. I'm very disappointed that Hasbro and Epic haven't been able to come to some sort of agreement to have a few early releases just to show off, hey, this is what the Victory Royale series are going to be. It just seems like they've rushed into things a little bit, and, you know, all these announcements are kind of a bit early, in my opinion. Because at the end of the day, the Foundation will release this season if he comes out as a skin at all. It's guaranteed pretty much. He was in this season's event, technically. Last season's, by all, like, realistic standards, it was last season, but it's part of this season. So, to say we'll probably be maybe 4 seasons, maybe 5 seasons away from this by the time this figure releases, it's a bit nonsensical in my opinion. Now, as I say, I really like Hasbro's work, I really like their figures, and, you know, if I can get a figure like this and it'll go well with my AIM from McFarlane, I'm perfectly fine with that. And, you know, I'll throw in my kit from Jazzwares and stuff, and just, you know, if it works, it works, and that's all I can really hope for. But yeah, the delay to release, the high price for at least the Foundation and Snake Eyes, and just generally the lack of real information on what exactly we're getting for our money, it's turning me away slightly. But anyway, I hope that this was informative, and I hope that I got my opinions across pretty well. Tell me what you think of this figure. As I say, I do think it's a good figure, I just don't necessarily think it's overall worthwhile in the grand scheme, just because they're probably going to re-release this figure in a standard format with different accessories, and, you know, it'll be cheaper, I hope, at least. But yeah, thanks for watching, like, subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll see you next time. Bye!
Lunar rainbow flag, happy pride, rabbit with facts. Streamer, let's play, take them out like dinosaurs. FNAFN, control, not the leader of a cult. Rabbit with sax, it's Lunar.